Welcome to Shortfield. My name's Terry and you join me as I'm just positioning the little sport cruiser onto final approach for what must be the longest, widest runway I've ever landed it on. This is the now closed airport of Manston in Kent. It's just a few miles from the English Channel, and as a frontline RAF base during World War II, it played a crucial role during the Battle of Britain and D-Day, where it based squadrons of fighter aircraft and bombers. But its location made it one of the very first safe havens for damaged bombers and fighters returning from the battles in mainland Europe, becoming an oasis that pilots would nurse their damaged aircraft to, often not knowing if they'd make it or not. Post-war, Manston has had various roles, both civilian and military, and I want to explore these in more detail. It was closed, and it has been as an airport since 2014. However, the runway, and although mostly abandoned, a lot of the infrastructure is still in place and usable. And once a year they have a fly-in, usually over a weekend, where the airfield accepts light aircraft visitors for just a couple of days. And today is one of those days.
Hi guys, welcome on board. There's a fly-in. It's to an airfield that is actually closed. It's no longer available usually throughout the rest of the year, but for three days over this weekend, they're having a fly-in. It's an LAA strut meeting, but they are allowing anyone to fly in. It's a massive long runway. It's at Manston in Kent. It's probably about 35 minutes flight time away. Manston is one of the places that I did my qualifying cross country to many years ago, so it holds a bit of a special place for me. I haven't been there for a long time. I think last time I looked in my logbook, I think it was like 2008 or something. As I say, really big history, massive runway. I don't think I should call this channel Shortfield anymore, because I keep going to long runways. And we're just letting the engine warm up now, and we'll be on our way. Emergency radio, Golf Charlie Zulu, at the hull ready for departure.
Surface wind, light and variable.
Charlie Zulu. So we're on 27 left now, which is good because this is the summer runway. I've mentioned it before that they've got the winter runway, which has got some all-weather surfacing on it, and this is summer runway. And before we go any further with this departure, we're just going to have one last check of everything. The things are going to kill you. The fuel's on, fuel pump's on, all of those are in. Trim, the most important thing, is sensible. We haven't got any locks in or anything. Okay, all's good. We'll get over this bumpy bit first before we give it full power. Golf Charlie Zulu rolling 27 left. Boot right rudder. Take the weight off the wheels. Flaps can come up. So we're just going to go around here before we turn en route. I don't like a left turn here. So we're going to go all the way around. Nothing's in the circuit. I'm here on my own. Rotax is a very quiet engine anyway, so it doesn't really upset anyone, but you have to follow the rules. Absolutely no wind this evening. No wind at all. We've had actually a couple of rough days. It's not been that great weather-wise. There we go, over the airfield again. Make sure no one's coming the other way.
So our route today is pretty straightforward. We departed runway 27 left at Andrewsfield, turned right and then back over the airfield, where we took up our direct routing to the overhead at Southend. From there we will cross the Thames estuary to Whitstable, then route direct to Manston. A total distance of 55 nautical miles. That should take me about 30 minutes.
So let's have a look at this Manston now. We've got rid of the south end, we're out of the controlled airspace, we're back to basic service, or we're not even on a basic service at the moment. So we're back under our own steam. And yeah, so let's have a look. So what they're saying is that the radio frequency that they're using is 119.930. We've got that tuned in. I'll turn that up now. It says to call 5 minutes to run, and just give them your altitude and your current position. And then they'll give you the runway and the QFE. They want you to position for a straight in. So either in on the westerly runway, runway 28, or straight in on the runway 10. They don't want you to do a circuit or anything. In fact, they specifically say no circuit joins. So that's it really. It's pretty straightforward. Please to aim to land using the westerly end of the runway to avoid taxi or long backtracks. This runway is massive. I'm going to put the details up because I don't have them on a chart, because there isn't a chart for it anymore. Just crossing the north coast of Kent at Whitstable, or just to the west, to the east of Whitstable, a place called Bay. There's a little airfield down there. It's another one that we lost, and I absolutely used to love it. It was called Maypole. It was a great airfield, and when we lost Manston over here to go to, we were only left with Lydd, which is on the south coast, which is a lovely airfield. There's a few grass strips around, but Maypole was one of the ones that served this area for us for grass strip flying, and that closed a few years ago, and it was such a shame because it was a lovely little strip. I'll put some video up of landing there, but yeah, it's another one that's gone. In fact, I will do a video on all the airfields that have unfortunately gone in the years that I've been, well, in the last few years that I've been doing the YouTube channel even. So it's a real shame.
Manston's runway is huge at 2,740 metres or 1.7 miles long, about the same length as London Gatwick's main runway. But it's the width that makes it so unique. At 230 metres or 760 feet wide, with a small headwind, I could probably take off across it in the Sport Cruiser.
Anyway, you can see I don't know if you can see that actually, but there's the runway over there. It is huge. I mean, bearing in mind we're still 9 miles away from it. It really stands out. I think they wanted to build houses on it at one point, but it's such an important piece of infrastructure that, as I say, they sort of needed it. Right, we're about 5 minutes away, so we're going to give them a call. Manston Radio, Golf November Juliet Charlie Zulu, Sport Cruiser inbound from the west, currently got 7 miles to run, airfield inside, and aiming to join, or to go over the coast and then come back in on runway 28, Golf November Juliet Charlie Zulu.
Golf Charlie Zulu, that's copied. We've got QNH of 1019 and no known traffic.
Lovely, 1019, and is 28 okay?
Hey firm.
Lovely, just going to start my descent now, and yeah, I'll just turn around over the bay and keep out of everyone's way, and then line up on 28.
Perfect.
As the wind is light, but was westerly when I departed, and as it doesn't look like it's changed much, I initially choose to join on a downwind leg to fly around the bay and then onto a base, and then final to land on the 28 end of the runway.
Autopilot, disconnect.
X-ray Zulu outbound to Western. We're just at the apron, running outside gas. Just going to do our power checks if that's alright, just across the taxiway Echo.
Aircraft just calling, so I missed you, Reg. Which runway are you hoping to depart on?
I think wind favours for 10, so we're going to take 10, but we're just going to do a power check on the apron, the right side of Echo.
Oh, Master Radio, Golf Charlie Zulu again. I mean, I can come in on 10 if it's easier.
Well, it's entirely up to you. Let me check the windsock and report back.
As I start heading towards the left-hand downwind for 28, I hear another aircraft taxiing out to take off on runway 10, and he passes me the wind, which favours the easterly runway. So, change of plan, I decide to go for 10 instead, which is right in front of me. As I fly down final, I'm finding that my depth perception is being messed with, as the runway is of totally different dimensions to what I'm used to when operating out of my usual short strips.
They're really fast, but we just go over the runway. Lead off the speed.
Welcome to Manston.
Manston Airport's story begins in 1916 during World War I. Initially established as a Royal Navy Air Service station, it served as a base for aircraft defending the British coast. The location was chosen for its strategic position near the cliffs of Ramsgate, providing an excellent vantage point for spotting enemy aircraft and ships. Manston played a crucial role during World War II. It became one of the most important airfields in the Battle of Britain, housing fighter squadrons that defended the UK against German air attacks. The long wide runway at Manston was specially designed to accommodate damaged aircraft returning from missions over Europe, earning it the nickname the Emergency Landing Ground. After the war, Manston continued to serve military purposes. Transitioning to the Royal Air Force, it was used during the Cold War as a base for various NATO operations and exercises. The airport also hosted several US Air Force squadrons, highlighting its continued strategic importance. In the late 20th century, Manston transitioned from military to civilian use. It became Kent International Airport in the 1980s, serving as a commercial airport with passenger flights to various destinations. Despite efforts to establish it as a major hub, commercial operations struggled, facing competition from larger airports in the region.
Cool. Alright, let's see what's going on. Here's the sea.
I park up and pay my landing fee of £15, which is all for charity, at the helicopter charter office.
Interesting. We were just talking about why this place is such a waste, that this whole place is just not being used. But they're helicopters, they do helicopter training and sightseeing from there. Yeah, they were agreeing it was like been a bit of a, I think it's been to court 2 or 3 times to get open again as an airfield or get houses built on it, and it hasn't gone through yet, and they think that this is it now, so it's going to stay, it's going to reopen as a proper airfield, so that'd be good. Anyway, we've got to walk around the new road because they've put some gates up, so I take my life into my own hands here.
I was hoping to visit the little museum they have on site, but they tell me it's closed now. But I can walk over to where the flying aircraft are parked and the pilots are camping for the night. However, I will need to walk around the road as the gate is now closed. This place is really sad. So much hardware just left to rot. I find it quite emotional. Anyhow, time to go. I jump back in the aircraft and taxi out. I call up the radio, not expecting anyone to answer, but someone does. I ask if I can have a little taxi around to take a look at some of the old facilities, and he says I have the airfield to myself. Fantastic.
Manston traffic, Golf November Juliet Charlie Zulu, Sport Cruiser taxiing out for runway 10 Manston.
Charlie Zulu, we're here just about still, just to give you Q&A. Cheers, 1020, and runway of your choice, although I suggest 10.
Lovely. Might have a little quick taxi up and down as no one's here, just I won't be back again for at least another year.
Yeah, fill your boots, there's no problem.
Thanks. So this is the old taxiway, and all of that over there, all overgrown and everything, that was part of the extra wide runway that I believe the Americans built. That's so cool, just having this great big place to yourself.
Okay, one last thing. As I'm lined up here at the very start of the 2.7 kilometre or 1.7 mile long runway 10, I want to show you how ridiculously long this runway is for a tiny little aircraft like the Sport Cruiser.
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to take off and fly a few feet above the runway at just over 100 knots or around 120 miles an hour until I reach the end, and we're going to see just how long this takes.
Fly along the runway.
I really hope that Manston comes back online as an airfield we can come to again soon. Its unique facilities and location and its long history of being a safe haven for airmen and spacemen in times of jeopardy means it has won its right to survive. My fingers are crossed that this won't be my last visit.
We're doing 106 knots.
Thank you so much for watching. Fly safe and short field out.
Fantastic.